You've got an idea. Maybe you've had it for a while. Something that you keep coming back to that you actually know a lot about, but you haven't moved on it yet. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this quiet worry. What if I build the whole thing and nobody wants it? That fear is completely valid, but staying stuck because of it, that part's optional. What most people don't know is you can find out whether your idea has legs to stand on before you build a single thing. And I'm talking about no website, no following, no budget. That's what we're going to get into today. Hi, I'm Trish, and this is Just a Number, the podcast for women 40 and up who are ready to stop waiting and start building from everything they already know. Part business, part unlearning, part confidence reset. Because you're not starting over, you're evolving with intention. We're talking lived experience, career wisdom, passions, and hard-earned perspective, turned into content, courses, and offers that actually help people. We're not here to play by the rules. Let's build boldly, teach what we know, and make it count. Welcome to Just a Number. So we're going to talk about something that sits right at the intersection of excitement and fear. That moment when you have an idea for something you could teach, offer, or build, and you just don't know if anyone else needs it as much as you think they do. This is one, I think, of the most common places that women get stuck. Not because the idea is bad or because they lack the skills or the experience, but because they're skipping a step, or they're so afraid of the answer that they never go looking for it to begin with. So we're going to talk about validation, what it actually means, why it matters, and most importantly, how you do it when you're starting from zero. No audience, no platform, no fancy tools. We're talking about just you, your idea, and some signals that will tell you whether you've got something worth building or not. So, what is validation and what it isn't? Let's start there, because I think there's a lot of confusion about what validation even means. Validation is not your best friend telling you that it's a great idea. She loves you, and of course she thinks it's great. It's also not your spouse or partner being supportive, or your sister saying, I'll totally buy that. And it's not posting about your idea online and getting a bunch of likes and heart emojis. Likes are not dollars, and encouragement is not demand. Real validation is a signal from someone who has absolutely no reason to be polite. It's a stranger, someone outside your circle who says, I need this, or where do I sign up? Or who actually hands over money before the thing even exists. That's the bar. And I know it's a little scary and may sound daunting, but it's actually more achievable and easier than you think. You don't have to build an audience first, and you don't need to have a platform already set up. You just need to get in front of the right people and ask the right questions. So I want you to think about starting where you already are. One of the things that trips so many women up is the fact that I'm saying you don't need an audience. What you need is access to people who have the problem that you want to solve. And that's a very different thing. So think about your life right now, your former colleagues, maybe the women in your professional network, Facebook groups that you already belong to, or you could reach out to your alumni community, the people you see at church or the gym or in your neighborhood. Maybe the moms that you know from your kids' school and sporting events, or the women in your book club. These are not random people. Some of them, maybe many of them, are exactly the kind of woman that you want to serve. They're your first research pool. And most women I talk to dramatically underestimate how much access they already have. So you're not starting from nothing. You're starting from your real life. That's actually a head start. So let's take a second here and get practical. We're going to take a look at 6 ways that you can validate your idea that costs you nothing, requires no following, and can be done this week. The first one is the simplest, and I think the most powerful, and that's real conversations. This is not a pitch or a survey. I'm talking about a genuine conversation with someone who fits the profile of the person that you want to help. Now, you're not asking them what they think of your idea. You're asking them about their experience of the problem. What's hard? What have they tried? What do they wish already existed? Your job is to listen, not sell. And what you hear in those conversations will shape everything from your offer, your messaging, and even what you decide to call the thing. You need to aim for 10 to 15 of these conversations. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. You can do 2 a week for a month, and you'll have more clarity than most people get after 6 months of planning. The second method is to go where your people already are online. So we're thinking of Facebook groups, Reddit threads, LinkedIn groups, maybe even a Nextdoor community or a local forum, Instagram, threads, something of that nature. You're not going in there to promote yourself either. You're going in to listen, to observe. What are people complaining about? What questions keep coming up? And what are they frustrated by? And pay attention to the exact words they use, because that language is gold for your messaging. Now, when you eventually talk about what you do, you want to sound like them. You want to use their words, their phrases. You don't want to sound like a marketing brochure. The third method of validation, and this one surprises people sometimes, is Google and YouTube. They're actually validation tools. You can type your topic into Google and see what auto-completes. That autocomplete is real people, millions of them, telling you what they're searching for. You can go to YouTube and search your actual topic. How many videos are there? How many videos do the top ones have? If there are channels with hundreds of thousands of views on topics related to your idea, that's not competition. That's confirmation that people care about this and they need help with it. Fourth is what a lot of people call the coffee chat. You reach out to 10 people in your network. Again, you're not pitching them. You want to learn from them. So something like, I'm exploring an idea and I'd love 20 minutes of your perspective. No agenda, just your experience. People will say yes to this more than you think, because you're not asking them to buy anything. You're asking for their experience, their pain points, what they're struggling with, and most people are happy to share it. Fifth is a simple landing page, and before your eyes glaze over, just hear me out. A landing page does not have to be complicated. It can be a single page, maybe just with one clear paragraph, describing what you're thinking of building with a simple, let me know when this is ready, email sign up. You share it in those communities that you're already in with your network via email. If strangers sign up, people who don't know you at all, that's also a real signal. That's someone saying, yes, I want that. Free tools like Card, which is CARRD, or even a basic MailChimp or Flowdesk page can have this live in a matter of hours. And sixth, use AI to stress test your thinking. Talking about tools like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini that can help you research your market. It can help you identify who is already serving this audience and poke holes in your idea before you put it in front of real people. So you can kind of think of this as your brainstorming partner. Use it to pressure test your assumptions, but not to make decisions for you. So, with all that being said, what are you listening for, right? Because not all feedback is equal, and this part matters too. That sounds interesting is polite. So is, I love that idea, and someone should really do that. These are nice to hear, but they're not what you're looking for. What you're listening for sounds more like, I've been looking for exactly this. When can I sign up? Do you have a wait list? How much does this cost? I know 3 other women who need this. That's the difference between curiosity and demand. Curiosity is more passive. People are mildly interested or they're just being supportive. Demand is active. It is people who want to do something about it, right? You're looking for demand. And if you're not hearing it yet, that doesn't necessarily mean that your idea is wrong. It might mean that you're talking to the wrong people or asking in a way that's not quite landing. So keep adjusting, but keep listening. The signal is out there. Okay, let's get real with this for just a second because I also see this happen a lot. Some women use "I'm still validating" the same way they use "I'm still doing research." It's a very comfortable, very socially acceptable way of not taking action. Validation sounds responsible. It sounds smart. And it gives you something to say when someone asks how your idea is going. So let's talk about what enough actually looks like so you don't use this as a hiding place. You don't need 100 yeses. You need 10 real ones. 10 people outside your inner circle who light up when you describe what you're thinking of building. 10 coffee chats where someone says, "I would absolutely pay for that." 10 signups from people you don't know. That's enough. It's more than enough. If you have that, you have something real. And the next step is to build a small version of it, get it in front of those same people, and see what happens. See what kind of response you get from them. So today, I'm going to leave you with this. You do not need a platform, a following, or a finished product to find out if your idea has legs to stand on. You need curiosity, a few honest conversations with the right people, and you need to go looking in the places where your audience already lives. And you need the willingness to hear what's actually true, even if this means that you may need to make some adjustments or pivot slightly, or even go back to the drawing board. Finding out the truth early, before you've spent months building something, is not a failure. It's the whole point. It's how smart people build things that actually work. The answer to, does anyone actually want this, is already out there. You just need to go find it. We're going to take a short pause on the next episode. It'll be out the first week of June. So make sure that you are following the show so you don't miss what's coming. And I'll see you in the next one.